Academy of Art University's KART News is next. Coming up, a major international conference in Paris that could eventually save the world.
What it's like to be a Muslim in America right now? We'll talk about Bay Area man who gives him his point of view.
And we'll take you to an Etsy emporium where thousands of shoppers were trying to find the best holiday gifts.
Plus the inside story of the value of those old comics books. What's hot and what's not, all that coming up and next on KART News.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us here at Academy of Art University's
Tyler, shut up. I'm not talking. When I hear you. What happened?
Coming to Lada. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us here at Academy of Art University's KART News. I'm Lada Kondrahina.
And I'm Karan Brown. We start with the latest in Paris Climate Change Conference, where President Barack Obama is meeting nearly 150 world leaders. Their goal, to try to formulate a plan to curb greenhouse emissions. 181 nations have already pledged to reduce pollution and hope to come to an agreement on details over the next 11 days. More than 40,000 delegates over 195 countries will also be in attendance. The conference concludes December 11th. Global warming, fossil fuels, and cracking are one of many disasters the planet is facing. Protesters want decision makers to do something. KART reporter Dion Jomo has more on the story here in the Bay Area.
The Climate Change World Summit that began today in Paris has drawn so much attention from people all over the world. Earlier this month, protesters also gathered in London, Canada, Tokyo, and other countries for what they call the Climate Change Rally. Last week, I witnessed a rally here in the Bay Area as hundreds marched down the streets of Oakland. Andy is one of the organizers and explains what it's all about.
This is about the pollution that's causing global warming, because we know that the ice is melting, the storms are bigger, and that's why we're out here today.
As you can see and hear behind me, the crowd is gearing up to march from here to the Frank Ogawa Plaza, where they will continue to rally against climate change. They say they are tired of the government going back and forth about climate change and not caring about human life.
This is our Mother Earth. This is not just a thing, you know, and we live out of her. Corporations, they don't care about that. They just care about profits. So by polluting Mother Earth, we're polluting ourselves.
This year's United Nations Climate Change Conference is the 21st session. Its purpose is to achieve a binding and universal agreement on climate change from all the nations of the world. Protesters hope their voices will be heard.
We really need our leaders, our national and international leaders, to step up and actually give us a result from the climate talks in Paris.
In Oakland, I'm Dion Jomo reporting for Academy of Art University's KART News.
Leaders hope to produce a binding agreement that will help keep the planet from warming a further 2 degrees Celsius. That's the point at which scientists say the world's population could be at jeopardy.
University of California has joined the Breakthrough Energy Coalition led by Bill Gates. Its goal is to bring the products which use clean energy to the market. Gates believes that they will be able to achieve their objectives since UC is home to some of the best climate scientists in the world and is capable of producing groundbreaking technologies. Also, according to the other sources, Gates is using his own $1 billion to sponsor this initiative. The state of California just announced that it's running out of green stickers for the plug-in hybrids to use the carpool lane solo. The California Air Resources Board stated that there were nearly 85,000 stickers issued as of November 17th. The state can only offer 85,000 stickers. The vehicles eligible for green stickers are the Chevrolet Volt, Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid, and Ford Fusion Energy.
France stepped up its security for the climate change summit that started this Monday. It's been just 2 weeks since the terrorist attack that struck Paris. About 2,800 police officers are guarding the Labor Day near central Paris, where the summit is taking place. Throughout France, thousands of more police officers are reinforcing border checkpoints and breaking up public demonstrations. With Paris attacks and Syrian refugee crisis in the news recently, the acceptance of Muslims and Islamic cultures in America is again being questioned. Our James O'Malley sits down with Muslim American here in the Bay Area to get his point of view.
Thanks, guys. So, for better or worse, Islam has been back in the news around the world over the last few weeks. And so, while the debate is still hot, I thought I'd sit down with a friend of mine here, Mr. Zohair Jamal, who's a graduate from UC Berkeley, who's a Muslim American. So first of all, tell us just a little bit about your background, where you're from, that kind of thing.
Sure. Well, I'm a local Bay Area native. I grew up in Antioch, California, out in the East Bay. Went to UC Berkeley, as you mentioned, and after that, worked at both YouTube and Twitter and social media.
Thanks. So what? Just as a Muslim American, what's the first thing that goes through your mind when you hear of a terrorist attack somewhere around the world attributed to Islam, but knowing that people are going to overreact to something like that?
I think it is that knowing that people are going to overreact and really preparing yourself for potential things to happen. I mean, for me, I think of safety for my family, where we grew up in an area as liberal as the Bay Area is. There have been off and on, I guess you can say, attacks or just moments where things happen. And so that's definitely the first thing that comes to my mind. Is my mom going to be okay going to the grocery store and things of that sort?
So you've definitely felt discrimination in your life, kind of as a Muslim in America.
Absolutely. I mean, growing up, again, even in the Bay Area, maybe 6-7 years back, my local mosque in my hometown was arsoned and was definitely a target of attacks. So you'd think the Bay Area, you know, being kind of boasted as the land of this most liberal, progressive outlook, still has its moments. Mm-hmm. And again, I mean, just as it is a minority of Muslims that conduct these attacks, it's a minority of citizens that strike back.
Mm-hmm. So yes, have you traveled around the country a bit? And I mean, you mentioned like you grew up in the Bay Area, and we bill ourselves as kind of a little bit more liberal and progressive than other parts. Have you found that in your experiences?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's I mean, I've always seen it as being kind of a range of opinions kind of being thrown at you. And I think just given the media and the dialogue around Muslims are kind of billed as being the other, so to speak. And so I've always framed it as what degree of otherness are Muslims being billed as. So we're definitely more inclusive and more socially involved in the Bay Area just by default of, I think, being in the Bay Area. But there's definitely variation depending on where you go.
Thank you. If there's one thing that you would like other other Americans to know about Islam that they don't understand, like what would you tell them?
So I mean, I think religion in general isn't really a marker of good and bad. I feel it's really people that are good and bad. And it really is on the impression of a person as to how they want to take a religion and what direction they want to take it in. So I guess that would be the one thing I want to know, want people to know rather, that it's not Islam, there's people that are conducting these attacks and forcing this world to move the way it is.
Yeah. So pretty much anybody can be crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So all religious texts are slightly ambiguous and can be read either way to justify anything. Why do you feel that the Bible gets a little bit more of a pass than the Quran?
I think the short answer is people in America or the Western world are familiar with Christianity and have been. I think there is a level, I guess you can say, of ignorance or just not knowing what Islam is and being susceptible to a very narrow viewpoint.
So, Jamal, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, James and Zahir. 31 states have said they oppose accepting Syrian refugees. California is not one of them.
Cyber Monday shoppers who avoided long checkout lines on Black Friday still had to wait in line online. Target shoppers experienced such a heavy traffic that they had to make virtual lines for customers to wait in to buy items. The retail giant went out periodically throughout the day. After experiencing the busiest online shopping day of the year, the site is now back up and running. When we think of holiday sales, the first thing to come to mind is long lines, crowds, and Black Friday. KART News reporter Nick Carey has talked about shoppers who are making some decisions about the best way to do their shopping.
With the holidays approaching, people look forward to Black Friday to get their holiday deals and shopping done. But is it the best way to get it?
I don't really like Black Friday. I've always kind of thought of Thanksgiving as a great time to spend time with family and, really enjoy the whole day of cooking and eating and hanging out and, watching football and stuff like that. Not, oh, it's 5 o'clock, time to clean up, we all need to go to Target and wait in line for 6 hours. That just kind of defeats the purpose of Thanksgiving to me. There's no reason for that. I like Cyber Monday better because, I don't have to go and deal with crowds, I don't have to deal with people. I can just shop at home, online, and that way, I can take all weekend looking for all the deals and figure out, oh, I want to go shop here, I want to shop there, and that way I don't have to go and take away from all the family time and stuff like that. There's no rush, and there's no ulterior motive, oh, we need to clean up and get out of here sooner so that we can go shop. And that just doesn't seem very wholesome or family-oriented to me anymore.
Black Friday is becoming less and less popular due to the fact that Cyber Monday is now taking care of people's holiday deals all at the hands of their fingertip.
So this year I went Black Friday shopping for the first time with my cousin. I'm never gonna go again. It was the worst experience of my life. I was exhausted. It was freezing. There were so many people. And the people in front of us got in a fight with another group of people because apparently they cut them in line and the police came and it was just a mess. Then when we got in the store, there was people getting trampled, pushing people were stealing things. I couldn't try stuff on in the dressing room if I wanted. Everything I wanted, they didn't have my size. It was just an unorganized mess. And I'm never gonna go Black Friday shopping again. I'm just gonna stick to Cyber Monday because there's better deals and I don't have to leave my bed.
So if you're looking for deals and feel like staying inside, Cyber Monday just might be the thing for you. I'm Nick Carey from Academy Arts University, KART News.
The best deals for this year's Cyber Monday are tech items such as PS4, Xboxes, iPads, and even TVs.
The numbers are in for this year's Black Friday. According to the National Retail Federation, there was a 1.5% increase in sales this year. Much of that came from online sales, a 25% increase on e-commerce sites. Also, $82 million was spent before 11 a.m. on Friday, which is 15% more than 2014. However, in the past 2 years, the amount spent over the four-day weekend declined 11%. While many spent their time raging through stores on Black Friday, others decided to spend their times hiking and enjoying the view instead. For the first time this year, the Save the Redwood League offered free passes to 49 state parks in California. People were able to enjoy the fresh air, take some natural selfies, and admire the great view. How popular was the event? All the available passes were taken and the league apparently ran out.
With shopping on the minds of so many people, one event drew thousands. I went to the big Etsy Emporium over the weekend. A big event is taking place at Pier 35, which attracts thousands of people every year. I'm standing here next to the ferry building where usually all the local artisans of the city of San Francisco come to sell their goods. But this time, since the Etsy Holiday Emporium is going on, they are all going to Pier 35. Etsy Holiday Emporium is an annual event that shows off more than 180 local artisans and their unique products. Taking up about 200,000 square feet of shopping space, this fair offers the experience the customers won't forget for a long time. One of the sellers who came here today is Andrea Vicky, who is making her own collection of jewelry and hopes to one day open her own little store so she could share her craft with the rest of the world.
So I design and hand paint jewelry. I have the metal casting done by companies in New Mexico and New York. and I hand paint all the pieces on a base of translucent polymer clay with oil paints and resin on top to protect it. I start with the clay, and I basically paint on top, and I paint in usually 3 or 4 layers, so the whole process takes about 3 weeks.
For many people, it's like a tradition to attend this fair every year, but for Lily Roberts, it is a completely new experience.
This is my first time at the Etsy craft fair, and I've shopped at Etsy online before, and so when I saw it on Facebook, a friend and I decided to come. She had been here before, so she recommended it, and we've had a great time. It's chilly, but there are so many vendors and so many interesting things to see.
The Etsy Holiday Emporium lasts from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and is organized at the end of November. In San Francisco, I'm Lada Kondrahina for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
To purchase their artisan goods and to get more information, you can go to their website at etsy.com. It's no surprise that the holidays aren't cheap, but who would think that a simple Christmas carol would break the bank? The 12 Days of Christmas lists on partridge, a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, 4 calling birds, 5 gold rings, 6 geese, 7 swans, 8 maids, 9 dancing ladies, 10 leaping lords, 11 pipers peeping, and 12 drummers drumming. The total cost of these items would average out to $155,000, averaging out to $1,000 more than last year's cost, definitely breaking the bank.
Certain comic books have been known to skyrocket in value. While a comic book issue usually costs about $4, the resale value can go up or down drastically. What determines the cost of a comic book? Nathan Goodall has the story.
Crossover stuff like...
Comic books are source material for some of the most profitable big-budget movies, as well as for some of the most successful television series, but actual comic book collections have sold at drastically different ends of the spectrum. Some comic books can lose value over time, to the point where their resale worth is less than $1. Meanwhile, other comic books have gone from being worth 10 cents to selling for over $1 million. Pleasanton comic store owner Jim Craven says it can be tough to tell what will become valuable these days, and explains some of the factors that have caused comics to rise in worth in the past.
Traditionally, it was like first appearance of a popular character, or if it was the first artwork of an artist who became really popular later on, his first artwork book always goes up, or popular writers.
It's a myth that the older comics are, the more they're worth. In truth, comics missing these elements are not likely to be worth much even with age, but comics that prove to have some of these elements can become valuable even in a short passing of time. Like Batgirl #1, which came out in 2011 for less than $3, now sells for about $20 just 4 years later.
A lot of those books weren't really overproduced when they first made them, so people are holding on to them, and the more they hold on to them, the less that are in circulation, the more the price can go up.
With modern society's interest in comic books, Jim says there's something these days for everyone, and many buy comics not as an investment, but simply because they enjoy reading them. Casual comic book reader Michael Degas, for example, buys comics just for that reason.
I don't know if I considered like this a great investment or anything. Maybe, down the line something like this will be worth something. Yeah, it's only a gamble if you didn't like what you were buying already, because then you're just buying to store it away and never enjoy what you're collecting.
And as comic book readers might say, where's the fun in that? In Patterson, I'm Nathan Goodall, reporting for the Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
Michael added that upcoming movies like Batman vs. Superman and Captain America Civil War might help add value to comic book based on storylines.
Singer and songwriter Sinead O'Connor threatened to take her own life in a Facebook post. The Irish singer wrote that I have taken an overdose. There is no other way to get respect. I am not at home. I am at the hotel somewhere in Ireland under another name. She blames family and friends but doesn't state an exact reason why she posted this. Police in Dublin confirmed that O'Connor had been found safe and well. Anne Hathaway is preparing for the role of a lifetime, motherhood. The 33-year-old Oscar winner is pregnant. This will be the first child for the actress and her 34-year-old producer husband, Adam Shulman. They have been married since 2012. This couple was spotted in Los Angeles this weekend. Hathaway flaunted her baby bump in a casual attire as she walked around for breakfast hand in hand with her husband.
Now here's Tiffany with the latest on movie entertainment.
Hi, welcome to this week's latest in entertainment. Starting off with the best new releases. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 topped the Thanksgiving weekend box office, holding off all newcomers, including Pixar's newest release, The Good Dinosaur. This book series turned movie franchise scored more than $51.5 million for the 3-day weekend. While this movie didn't hit records like the other 3 movies, Lionsgate has made more than $440 million worldwide. On the other hand, those interested in the Pixar brand will be quick to note that The Good Dinosaur 3-day signifies the worst opening for a Pixar film since Toy Story back in 1995. Obviously, the Wednesday opening played a role in the number being a little soft, but the $55.5 million animation fell short when it brought only $28.7 million on opening week. But if you haven't seen the trailers already, let's take a look. Coming in third is the strong performances of Ryan Coogler's Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, and Tessa Thompson. The film took an estimated $30.1 million to make, but came back with an impressive $42.6 million since opening on Wednesday. Along with the excellent start, there's a strong case to be made for Creed topping $100 million over the course of its domestic run. In the next few weeks, moviegoers will be excited for the new releases hitting the theaters. The long list of new movies include Krampus, Star Wars The Force Awakens, and Sisters. The colder weather is begging for a movie night out, so go hit the movies and enjoy. That's all the time that we have for today. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Tiffany. Whether or not you're a basketball fan, Kobe Bryant provided hours of entertainment for anyone familiar with the game. It was an emotional day for Laker fans this Sunday when he announced that his retirement after this season. Here's Nick Carey with his opinion.
The time has finally come. The Black Mamba, Kobe Jellybean Bryant, has announced his retirement after Sunday's loss to the Pacers. The lifetime Laker then went on to share a poem he wrote about leaving the game he loved so much, titled Dear Basketball. In the poem, he goes on to say, "This season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows when to say goodbye." Now, what does this mean for the Lakers, who are losing their franchise player for the past 20 years? Personally, I think it's bittersweet for Laker fans. Yes, they're losing their superstar, but Kobe wasn't even the Kobe that we all grew up watching the past couple of years. With him retiring, it opens up more cap space for the Lakers to sign more players and start rebuilding a franchise. I'm Nick Carey, and that's just my opinion.
Thank you, Nick. Now Tyler Subino joins us with some insight on how the Warriors are starting the season off on the right foot.
The Golden State Warriors are the first team in NBA history to start the season 18-0. The 2015-16 Warriors essentially broke the record they had set, as the previous record of 16 consecutive wins was just set last season. They are creating a lot of buzz and pressure in the sense that teams have that extra motivation to beat them even more now. It puts it in perspective to understand just how good this team is. Coming from an MVP season, point guard Steph Curry is looking like he wants that title again. Averaging 31.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 6 assists, he's putting up amazing numbers. He seems to be the piece that helps make this team that much better. You know this is special when it's turning other fans to be fans of the Warriors. New York Knicks fan Amy Farthing speaks about her new favorite team.
I'm excited to talk about the Warriors. I mean, we're 18-0, which is pretty amazing. And incredibly, we just beat the Lakers recently, which was awesome. I'm actually new on
Don't make fun of this video,
as
please.
a Warriors fan. I'm from New York, so I was all about the Knicks. And it's really impressive. When I went to the Oracle Arena, the fans, it's like electricity, and it's very contagious. And it reminded me of old days back at Madison Square Garden when, you know, everyone was rooting for Patrick Ewing and those guys. So what I have to say, it's like, it's a team that's not greedy. They work together. I mean, MVP Steph Curry is amazing, but he also is a great teammate. He's not hogging the ball. He passes the ball. It's about the win. It's not about the individual player. And Green, another player I really, really like. And he didn't even have a contract last season. I mean, it was like one season contract or something. And now he signed on for like millions of dollars, and he deserves it. So anyway, I'm all for the Warriors. Go Warriors!
Thanks, Tyler. This is definitely one of the more skilled Warriors teams in the NBA history, but the Warriors aren't the only talented individuals making a name for themselves here in the Bay Area. Here is a look into the life of a local up-and-coming musician, Sonny B.
My name is Sonny B. I'm with the group CRSB. I'm a songwriter, producer, entertainer. Waiting for you to go. As rings, 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 rings. To my surprise, it wasn't you. I've been doing this my whole life since like high school, so about going on like 10 years. I grew up around a lot of music in my family, so I guess you could say that I've been doing it my whole life. So I'm gonna bring it up with you. Musically, we've created our own lane as far as creating this genre called like pop reggae, reggae pop, or I-pop, where we blend R&B, pop, reggae, and all these genres into one. But everything is, you know, island influenced. It's got me up all night, got me up. It's just the thoughts that's on my mind, and the feeling I can't fight. It's got me up all night, like a drug. Music definitely reflects who we are, and because of that, it's created our own genre, which is pretty unique. So the difficulty, I wouldn't say it's difficulty, it's just adjustment. It's for everyone else to you know, move towards where we're moving.
In Vallejo, I'm Greg Ivory reporting for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
And that's it for this edition of Academy of Art University's K-Art News. For everyone here, thanks for watching. I'm Karan Brown.
And I'm Lada Kondrahina. See you back here next time. Have a great day.